Hi guys, this is Sergio for Martial Art Tutorials. I'm here in Miami and the video that I'm doing today is my Kung Fu lineage. You guys know that I wasn't born in the United States. I am actually from Cuba. I've been here around 10 years. And I get this question a lot. Sergio, what is your Kung Fu lineage? Where did you learn it? Why does it work? Why some Kung Fu that we see today doesn't work? Well, the first thing is my Kung Fu comes from China, straight from China. It came straight from China, Okendo, and this ship came to Cuba in the year 1847, January 17, 1847. They were coming around 300 people, but it only arrived around 200 people. The name of the style was K-Xiao, but I actually didn't start K-Xiao. I started Wushu from Roberto Vargas Lee. But so you guys know, that's my biggest influence because we do spar a lot between styles in Cuba. For example, you can see a person sparring against karate or against a kickboxer or against Muay Thai, and basically that contributed for my Kung Fu to be good, to work. When people ask me, what's your lineage? Well, my lineage came from Roberto Vargas Lee and another guy who's my friend, who was the first one to introduce me to Kung Fu. His name was Rainier Diaz. He started Pakwachan, and well, we didn't do forms at all. The difference in my Kung Fu is in training. That's my lineage. Training, fighting, sparring. I do forms, but I don't actually practice that often. Per se, I can do a form every 2-3 years just because it looks cool, but I don't see the value in a form for fighting. And that's actually my biggest problem with other Kung Fu styles. They spend much of the time doing form and working on unnatural position for the body to work, and when they go to fight against an MMA style or against another style that do actually spar, they get their asses kicked because they didn't invest the time on the self-defense application. And that's what Kung Fu is about, is self-defense. It can be adapted for the ring. You have to water down a lot of stuff, but it can be adapted. And yes, my Kung Fu, I have used it on the ring and I will use it this year. But yes, when people ask me, lineage versus training, I go for training. But yes, that's my lineage. My lineage comes from Roberto Vargas Lee in Cuba, the National Kung Fu School, which I practiced a lot with him, and I got a black belt. We training with weapons, but mostly was sparring and fighting. I hope that you guys like this video. This is to clear up some stuff regarding to where my Kung Fu comes from and why my Kung Fu works. Is because first it's straight from Shaolin monks. That's the Kung Fu that we practice in Cuba, that it came from the 1800s. The master lineage is clear. There's gonna be a link below for the information. And also the other style that I did was with Roberto Vargas Lee, the National Kung Fu in Cuba. That's what I did. That's the Kung Fu I practice. That was before I did karate. I did karate since I was 7 years old till I got 16 years old. And at the same time, I was doing Kung Fu from 15 years old until I got around 19 years old. So I hope you like this video, and a recommendation: always go for the training, always go for the fighting. If you want to be really in shape for fighting, if you want to really defend yourself, go for the training. So guys, one final thought: stop worrying about the lineage. Spend more time on the gym, running, spend more time on the gym, jumping ropes, spend more time doing like heavy back training, mid work, working on flexibility, working on sparring. How do you know if your Kung Fu or martial art is gonna work if you never put it to test? For example, how do you know if your karate is doing good if you never like spar with another people from another school? So the idea, because you are doing martial arts, you are not doing ballet, you are not doing, it's a combat sport, it's for self-defense. How do you know if it's gonna work if you never put it to test? Simple as that. When you buy a new car, the factory, before putting it on the street, they go and test it. They put dummies on the car, they throw it against a wall several times, they run computer simulation tests, and then is when they know that the car is safe to operate on the street. It's the same with martial arts. I'm sorry, it's completely the same. How do you know if your martial art work if you never put it to the test? So you're doing Kung Fu style, Wing Chun for example, which I have many friends who does Wing Chun. How do you know if it's gonna work if you never tried against I don't know, a street fighter? Put some friend with a headgear, a chest protector, chin guards, and fight. If it works, you know you're doing something right. If it doesn't work, now you have to change, you have to adapt. Another thing, what if the martial art work but you're not prepared because you don't do enough cardio, you don't do enough like jumping rope? That's my point. Don't worry about the lineage. Don't worry if it's come from Ip Man. Don't worry if it comes from a Shaolin monk. Don't worry if your master is Chuck Norris. Just work on your technique. Work on fighting. Work on flexibility. Work on focus mid. Work on building on your muscles so you can be stronger. That's my opinion on martial art versus lineage. Because if you don't put your fighting ability to the test, how do you know if you're gonna work out a life on the situation? Okay? That's it, guys. Thank you.